Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 22-yard line.
To Hunt! 16! All day! All day! Slam! 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 Switch! Switch! Here we go.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And all the way down to the 37. A huge play there right off the bat. 41 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Jam him! Jam! Jam! 25! Check 25! Check 25! Here we go, Ho. Number 6.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Open man is Trey Burton. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings.
Nice touchdown, baby.
Adam Thielen, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Vikings 7, Raiders nothing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 21.
Check 13. Wide, wide, wide. Get wide. Tighten up. Tighten up.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Our time. It's our time. Check, check. Press.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again.
Check 31. Check 31.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And it's third down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number one that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Cousins to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Mike's 22, Mike's 22.
Throwing his car on 3rd down.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing his Cousins, and he fends him off. Going up top. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Right there. Right there.
Shotgun now for Carr. It's caught. Jones. Give him a 1st down. 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Come on, fellas.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
22.
Carr now on 1st down.
Let's go, Pete. Tighten up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw his Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And some room to maneuver. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Jacobs now. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 38-yard line.
Down. 49. Mike. 49's the Mike. Here we go. Watch twist. Twist. Kill.
Carr looking downfield for Jones. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
He wasn't ready.
Josh Jacobs, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Vikings 14, Raiders 7. Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
3rd and long for Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Everson Griffin able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
I got him. 49's the Mike. Watch 49. Record. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Express. Let's bring it. Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Carr. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go fullback this time, Rod Smith. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
From midfield, here's Carr. And open here is Hogan. He's got it. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Now, 180. Mike 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And the catch made by Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now on 2nd and 13, Carr. Finding room inside the 40. He gets this one to Johnson. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Carr to throw again.
Let's go.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Crunch. Hey, high 7.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And the pressure gets to him again. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Shift.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. Cook with a first down and much more. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Once again, it's Jacobs. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check.
Running the toss here to Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here I come. Gun. Wise motion. Wise motion.
Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, with that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Mike 12. Mike 12. All you get is a headache. Mike 12. Mike 12.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Shift. Gun. Motion.
They run it again with Cook.
Run.
And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Cousins now, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Max Crosby picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. This from 44 yards away. Bailey's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jacobs. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now a carry for Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 7. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get ready. Get ready.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 34-yard line.
I don't think you got it, son. Mike 10. Mike 10. Mike 10. Come to my world. Come to my
On the ground, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
At the 48-yard line.
Gun. Slant. Watch the slant. Motion. Motion. Hey, we got Mike 10 right there.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back him up 5.
Don't get nervous. Double tight. Double tight. Double tight. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Gun. Switch. Mike 10. Mike 10.
Cook
Mike 10.
following the penalty. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think the 41.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On third down, it's Jacobs. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They picked